How's it going? I just got some pad thai here that I bought from the store. Let me join that with bubbly cherry flavored. Probably my favorite bubbly. Yeah, I'd like to say I'm sorry for the long wait on the video. It's been ages, but just as usual, I've been busy, but no excuse. Pretty good. Nice and oily. I saw that. Maybe want to buy more. But yeah, having that's my day off. Yesterday I actually worked a 13-hour shift, so it was pretty crazy. What happened was this employee that was supposed to be working the front desk at the resort last night, no call, no showed. So I worked from 10 p.m. till 6 p.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. I was supposed to get off at 6, but when I was supposed to get off, the front desk agent that we had on at the time was a trainee, so I couldn't have that, basically, especially because it's busy, so I had to work an extra 4 hours until the night auditors came on front desk and they're at the resort. But even after that, I still had an hour of work to do with emails and shit. It's pretty tiring. Kind of glad that's over, but money's pretty good though. But yeah, yesterday was good because we got the pop inventory done, and at the resort there. It's at the last day of every month. You have to do pop inventory, so there's 3 drink machines, and we're with Pepsi, and you have to take every single drink out of the drink machines and figure out which ones are expired. Keep the expired out. Later on, we count the expired, and put the good ones back in. But you have to count how many good pop you're putting back in there, and so it was a lot of work, And it didn't end there either. It's like we also had to, basically there's 3 rooms, or actually, no, there's more, so, yeah, there's 3 storage rooms for the pop, and there's the juice room, there's the pop cage, and there's the pop room. Now the pop room has basically the 600 milliliter bottles of what we put in the vending machines, and basically also rock stars. We get a drink there by Pepsi. So and it's a pop cage, which for the we're also a conference center, and for the conferences we if they order pop, we give them canned pop in a cooler. And so there's that, and also the bistro uses canned pop there. That's which is at the spa, and there's also some juice in there, and what else is in there? Yeah, pretty much that's it. And there's the juice room, which has a few things. There's the juice for the babies, for the Big Ritz, orange juice, apple juice, whatever. And there's the what is it? CO2 for the fountain gun that they use for drinks, and up there in the bar. And there's the bibs, which are the boxes full with bags of syrup for the fountain gun there. So But you also got to go to the bistro there and count how many pops they have, and if it's expired, and then go to the Rockstar cooler, which is mainly for staff, and for energy drinks there, count how many there are there, and you gotta go around to the back of the salon, the conference rooms, and figure out if there's any stash back there and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and you're accounting for all these, but my boss, the general manager, was helping me out immensely last night with that, and so did an accountant. The whole thing is like, we're trying to see if there's any theft going on. Staff members taking drinks without paying for them, or if we're or if there's miscounting happening, and trying to figure out, give this information to accounting and stuff like that. Yeah, so. It was super great to be done that, but I got this, my house here, I got to introduce my next door neighbor, and she said there's this big black bear who hangs around here, and he's just a huge, big black bear, and he messed up my crab apple tree the other day, and he broke another branch there, eating the crab apples and stuff like that, my dad sawed off the branch there, and we removed the crab apples, most of them, except for the ones really high up, which are hard to grab. We were using a stepladder there, so that way if he comes there, there's no apples for him to eat, so he probably leave the tree alone and stuff. I wasn't too much worried about being in danger from the bear, though. Black bears are generally less aggressive than grizzlies or polar bears, and even though it was a big black bear, they're still smaller than grizzlies and polar bears and stuff like that. So, but let me just see here. This is cashew sand. It's nice. Reminds me of that Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's a TV show with Larry David there. One of the, I guess, founders of Seinfeld. And there's that skit about cashews. It's fucking hilarious. I'm not sure if I should give it away, but yeah, I'll leave it. But yeah, I mean, on another note, I remember teaching English in China to kids, which I guess I did about 5 or 6 years ago, and yeah, but my boss there told me to do, when teaching the kindergarten kids for one class, to act like an animal, because we were teaching them about bringing a story about that to do with animals, and she said you could walk like a duck or growl like a bear and stuff like that, and I remember not doing that. In my mind, I had these intellectual reasons or something like that to not do it, or wouldn't fit in with my lesson plan, but now I realize how silly I was being and to not do it, and I should have just done it, It would have helped, it would have benefited the class, really. So, but, yeah, it was just, there seems to be really a lot of really harsh advice floating around right now, which is weird, like away from the internet and stuff like that, like coworkers saying that coworkers are not your friends, your work and go home and stuff like that. I don't know, one of my best friends, I started off as, as coworkers. And we have both since quit that job. But we're still friends to this day and stuff, so. But yeah, I recently bought this house that I'm in right now, and it's my first home, but I do believe sometimes, I wasn't listening really when about the animal, watching like animals in the China there, but I think sometimes you just gotta be a bit stubborn. Like I got a lot of advice before when I was thinking about buying this house from people that I knew, and I don't really. It didn't really sit well with me, Like people saying to me, this one guy said to me, if you and your parents will, then you should just stick that out, and then you can be inherited their house after they die, sort of thing. It didn't really interest me that much. I mean, if I had given their house in a will, I may flip it into a rental property, but I want to buy my own house and stuff like that, and I want to make this decision now and make something happen now, and but I got also told that from another person that I'm a single income, so I shouldn't buy a house and stuff like that. It makes no sense. That's something I didn't really agree with. I mean, I believe I can't afford this house. I'm not making big money, but mortgage payments, I think, is $1,043 Canadian a month, I think. But yeah, just if I listen to this advice, sort of thing, then maybe I'd buy a house, 7 years later, or whatever, finally, and once coming to my senses or making more money, and if that happened, I'd probably be like 75 years old before I make my last mortgage payment on the house and stuff like that. And yeah, I didn't really want that. And when I retire, I want my mortgage payments to be like, even now, I want to retire maybe 63 years old, and that's about the time I'll make my last mortgage payment on this house. I'm 36 years old right now, but I was watching this Instagram video, and this guy was like interviewing. He does great interviews. I forget what his channel's called and stuff like that, but unfortunately, he's going up to these couple of these guys, and they were in a sports car, and he was like, "Well, how did you become successful?" It's like, "What did you do?" The interviewer asked, like, "What did you do to become successful?" And the guys are saying, like, "You see, it's not what we do; it's what we don't do. We don't drink, we don't smoke weed, we don't do drugs, we don't party, we don't screw around with our time." And that was really interesting. And and he says basically, the guy said, if you don't do these things, then success will kind of happen automatically, which is kind of interesting. And I don't really, I've messed up a lot in my new job as a duty manager and stuff like that. I got promoted, so I'm not trying to make this sort of like I'm very successful. I don't make big money, but like I wasn't really, when I started at the resort, I started as a front desk agent and not making much money, and just checking people in, making reservations and stuff like that at the front desk there. And but it's interesting, like, because in the past I had a bit of a drinking problem, getting super drunk all the time, and not all the time, maybe 2 or 3 nights a week, and it was affecting my performance at work. That was before I started this working at this resort here, and you know, but so because when I started this job here, I didn't have this. I was just feeling guilt that I had been employed for maybe a year. I wasn't on welfare, but I was living on my savings, and then my parents helped me out a bit. And I moved back into my parents, and I was just like, basically, I was just thinking that, I was owed my parents so much money too, and I wanted to pay my parents back and get out of debt. And then I wanted to get over this, or eliminate this feeling of guilt that I had from being unemployed. And but I wasn't like, okay, I wasn't actually spending money and stuff. But I wasn't like, I'm gonna move up the ladder and stuff like that. But it kind of just happened automatically, I guess, when you're not, I did get drunk a few times, maybe, while working here, not at work, but generally it's just with the not drinking and not smoking, so much weed, and not partying, not doing the drugs and stuff like that, and it kind of just happened automatically, I just, which is interesting, it's just, because I don't really, what was I going to say? Yeah, it happened automatically, I'd say when I was about 22 years old, that's where, before that, I thought I was a hard worker, but then I went to work at a ski resort in British Columbia, Canada. I saw a line cook in a cafeteria, and we always had about 12 things to do. Like there was no prep cooks. We were the prep cooks, the line cooks. So the cafeteria got very busy, and if you weren't doing prep work, whatever it was, chopping up green peppers or making the Thai green curry sauce or shaving roast beef and stuff like that, you're kind of letting your team down. You're also screwing yourself because people are gonna come and you're gonna run out of the stock there. It's gonna cause big problems, but so then I think that's where my work ethic increased. But I still slack off here and there. I'm not the hardest worker, but I don't want to. Yeah, but yeah, it's just I think you'll find the drinking and stuff like that. I'm just very happy that it's sort of it's mostly I think in my past. I'll have a beer once in a while. The other day I went to a party and I did drink a full alcohol beer, but normally when I go to the restaurant after work at the resort there, and I'm drinking the zero alcohol beer and stuff like that, and I'm just really happy that the binge drinking, it's just a thing of the past, and I really never want to. I mean, there may be some times when I do actually end up getting drunk, but it's not so much a part of my life and interfering with my life now, and I'm happy for that. But yeah, I've been having problems because with my sleep schedule, I need to have more discipline, basically, and because I'll have me starting at 2 p.m. one day, and then the next day they have to be starting at 10 a.m. And I mean, like 2 or 3 hours of sleep for my 10 a.m. start shifts, and it's causing me problems. And if I didn't have discipline, I would be up at, I would say probably 6 a.m. every day, probably. And yeah, and that would help with that just consistently. That's what I'm gonna try to do, and I'm gonna try to wake up early tomorrow, and get the day off tomorrow. But it's yeah. Let me just see here. But yeah, work. The stress has been getting me to a bit. I think it has been very busy, but I remember like with a guest gift card, sometimes they'll give you a sort of a paper from e-gift card that they purchased, and it'll have about a very long number. I'm not sure how many characters, maybe 20, and you have to type all the digits in the right order and stuff like that into Interact machine. And if you get one number wrong, you're fucked. And so it took me about 5 tries to get one of these, and I kept on making mistakes. And yeah, but eventually I got it. But and there's like putting in guest credit cards and making reservations. I keep on having this habit of like adding an extra number, but then I corrected and doing some shuttles, and taking some of the staff home, provide a shuttle service. And I think 2 or 3 times just ended up like not making a horrible mistake, but just kind of like driving off in the wrong direction, sort of thing. And yeah, but close to their home, and so I can quickly correct this. It's not like I went, but yeah, I just kind of my mind is so occupied with work. It's just it's there's just a lot going on, but yeah, I'll be alright. But yeah, I think that's all for now. So thanks for watching. Okay, bye.